Well, we'll deal with it later. It's fine. I feel like I feel like we need like a theme song, some music, and then we can have like rolling credits and fade in and fade out. Hell yeah! I brought you chairs. I did do that. I brought. So I got those. Let me have a legal pad there. So somebody's got some questions. Hi Tara. Hi Crafty Girl. Trevor. Nick. I mailed your $200 gift card yesterday. So it'll be to you shortly. I almost sent you cash, Nick, but um, I didn't know. I just decided to go ahead and do the gift card. I just hate, if you have to pay every time you swipe that motherfucker, you get charged. Oh, hey Levi. Yeah, and Nick, I want to know what the hell you bought when you get the. I want to know. You spent it on the electric bill. I'm gonna find you and slap you. It's not what it's for. It's for something frivolous, right? She needs to get her butt in here. Your boobs stick out of that bra. Jessica's got the uniboob on going. I like these things. I love this. Chasden. Liz, this one's the grape ghost sip that has the caffeine in it for this one. But I'll tell you, I've cut down my Pepsis. Um, I've been drinking the shit out of the water. No, you the man. I can't see. What? We're putting in a grocery store. You need me to call Children's Video to get shit done for our foster daughter? Well, wait, I'll be glad to try. Uh, hey, Ari, and the owner helped out with our bill. He did not. Wow. What you need to do is find their insurance there, Talicia. Thank you, Rosie. Hey Ryan. We're doing well. This is the water name is called Circle, and you get it online, and it's like a subscription thing. And I will get usually about 10 bottles of water per cartridge, and the cartridges look like that. All your flavors right there, and I'll usually get about 10 bottles of water out of that. Hey Dave. What's an in-depth of what we do? I'll get to that here in just a minute. Ari, it's possible that they do that, but I mean, it's unethical. Okay, so we'll just use this. Well, because I've had several people say, can you explain in detail, like, what all we do, right? So I'm going to explain it. So I'm going to pick on Lilo for a minute. So on the medical billing side, basically, if Lilo goes to see the doctor and we're doing the billing for the doctor, we take Lilo's chart. Obviously, it's going to have more than this, but see, you got Lilo's name, and Lilo had bronchitis. Well, we're going to take the codes, and I'm just going to make shit up off the top of my head here. Actually, no, let's do COVID. So she has COVID, U07. She got the Rona. Well, the code for COVID is U071. We're going to put that into our system along with the charge for that office visit and stuff. Make sure everything's coded correctly. Send it to the insurance for the insurance to pay. The second part of what we do is the advocacy side. So let's say Lilo is Lilo has chlamydia. and Lilo's insurance won't pay for the antibiotics to fix the chlamydia that Lilo has.
I couldn't have had like an upper respiratory infection.
No. So the insurance won't pay for the antibiotics that Lilo needs to cure the chlamydia, the clap. Lilo then comes to me and says, will you make the insurance pay for the antibiotics to cure my chlamydia? I was a whore one night and took 9 guys home from the bar, got the clap.
I'm a fucking legend.
Yes. And so then I get with the insurance and make the insurance pay for the antibiotics that Lilo has to take for the clap. And then like there's even more serious stuff, that like, let's say unconscious people that need to go to from one hospital to another, but they won't allow the insurance, or the insurance won't allow them to be transported, and it's life or death, and this is going on at 3:00 in the morning. Well, the families, or family and nurse, doctor, somebody's going to call me, and I'm going to make the insurance carrier at 3:00 in the morning authorize the transport, or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of what we do. Yes. For prior authorization doesn't get to close for emergency. That goes to provider services, and they got to do something right then. And then, so I mean, that's basically how we do everything and what we do and all of that. I hope that answers the question. Hi, Archie. So, yeah, we make insurance carriers do their fucking job. That you're sitting there paying them a premium, and they're not, letting you use that premium. That's bullshit. We're not going to put up with that crap.
Or, for example, a doctor's office is going to give you your medical records.
Okay, so the medical billing and coding, how does that translate to the advocacy side? Well, because a lot of times if let's say your surgery that you had, Lilo had to get surgery for her chlamydia. And yep. And the insurance didn't pay it. Well, we're going to look, number one, at the codes that the doctors and stuff used on their bill to see if they screwed up somewhere. So that's how the billing and coding can translate to the advocacy side, especially when it comes to medical bills. That too. But I use the rules that we use the insurance carrier's own rules against them. Is how is what we do. You definitely join. No, I wasn't catching the clap. Leela was catching the clap. Whoa! Well, I don't.
First of all, we have people that live in this town that are watching this video.
That gum. I mean,
last week at the R&R barbecue that the fire department of Stephenville
watches this stuff.
When Taiwan comes in and says that he's been watching it.
You got the clap, Lisa?
Yeah.
Well, apparently,
He'll call Cliff.
by sticking his tongue down my throat.
He'll call Cliff first.
Right. Now,
Is it weird to say fiance?
what do I think Biden is going to do with healthcare? Well, I think honestly he's going to leave the Affordable Care Act alone. I don't think he's going to do any of that. I don't think he's going to jack with that. What worries me is I'm afraid Biden is going to start jacking with hospitals and providers. That's what I'm afraid of. Is he's going to put some rules in place where a doctor can only make so much money, a hospital can only make so much money, and it's not anybody's right to limit anybody to the amount of money that they can legally make.
You cannot tell somebody how much they can make?
Right. So, I mean, that's what worries me, is that he's going to go after the providers.
Do you think that people are freaking out right now and a bunch of policies and stuff are about to change?
Yep.
Even
Well, okay, so Biden signed 15 executive orders yesterday. Like, one of them was getting rid of the Keystone Pipeline.
Oh, I thought he wasn't getting rid of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's done broken one campaign promise first day in office, but so there's going to be
what was he supposed to do with all those Americans that are going to lose their jobs?
That's my thing. Is with one stroke of the pen, he just put thousands of people out of work.
Right.
And so there's that issue. I watched bits and pieces of the inauguration yesterday, or I listened to it when I was in the truck going from the post office to Staples or whatever.
They literally had every single color performance there. Every single, literally.
Right.
And Lady Gaga, walks off the stage, so I don't know, she was fluttering, and then Jennifer Lopez comes on, and right after she's done speaking, he gets on the microphone and starts giving a speech about Mexicans and how.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the?
And I listened to Jennifer Lopez sing America the Beautiful and This Land Is Your Land, This Land Is My Land. And in the truck. And it sucked. I mean, Jennifer Lopez may can dance or whatever, but she can't sing. The only reason why Jennifer Lopez could actually sounds good on a CD or on the radio is because when she's doing studio recording, you've got computers that alternate the voices. Kind of like Britney Spears. That bitch can't sing, but they have auto tuners. Yeah. So.
Sunny, I'm answering your message. Arson? No.
So it's I don't know. So do I think? Am I worried about healthcare over the next 4 years? No, I'm not worried about healthcare. With Biden in office, what I'm worried about is all the true blue collar jobs
that they're fixing to be
eliminated. That are fixing to be eliminated. That's what worries me.
Do you think they're really going to change minimum wage to $15 an
And that worries me too because
Then you're
Are
gonna
you
pay.
gonna pay us $15
no,
You're gonna pay $15 an hour or $15 for a gallon of milk, and $8 for a gallon of gas. And I mean,
California is crazy ridiculous to live in.
I mean, and that's and I mean, I think there should be. I do think there should be, a minimum wage, absolutely, set out by the federal government. Then I think it should be, if anybody wanted to regulate that and go above it, then that should be the state. So the federal government says minimum wage is $7.50 an hour. That's what you minimally have to make. And then Texas says, yes, we agree with the $7.50 an hour, but we're going to make minimum wage mandatory in our state $9 an hour. I would be perfectly okay with that. But and I know that that minimum wage has not raised in many years. And I think they've gone about that all wrong. Whenever they set the $7.50 minimum wage, they should have built in to the Minimum Wage Act where there is an automatic increase, let's say every 2 years of 5%, so, 750 minimum wage and then, 2, 3, 4 years or whatever, it goes up 5%. That's what they should have done. But now we're wanting to completely, literally double the minimum wage, and they said, well, people can't live on $7.50 an hour. I agree. There's a lot of people that can't live on $7.50 an hour. If you want to have a decent life in this town, you can't be $7.50 an hour because you can't rent a 2-bedroom house for less than $1,100 a month.
You can't even rent a 2-bedroom apartment for less than $950.
Right. So,
Yes, man, I know.
I know you.
and then what's going to happen is, it goes to $15 an hour. Well, the landlords who own houses, who own apartment buildings and stuff like that, they're going to raise their rents because you just got a 100 or 200% raise. Your pay just doubled barely. That was 800 is now 1,400 because you can afford it because you just went to $15 an hour. I know you did because the government said you had to, which makes the gallon of milk that's $2.59 now go to $5.69.
Mm-hmm.
So you've literally done nothing.
When you're paying $1 a bag for ramen noodles, you know you're in trouble.
Your price is going to go up. So going out to eat for 2 people would be like $150.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to pay all those wait staff and everybody
Right.
$50 an hour.
Right.
They paid them $2.30.
Well, yeah, but
$2.30, but I guarantee you
It'll
the
go up
wait
to
staff
$5.
is going to go up to $5 or $6. And so that's the problem is that, leave the minimum wage alone and create more jobs is the thing. Leave minimum wage alone, create more jobs so people can go to work. Don't be nixing the Keystone Pipeline and, fracking or whatever and sacrifice 6 million jobs. Okay? Because, $15 an hour minimum wage is absolutely wonderful. But when the job isn't there to have, you don't make $15 an hour.
Literally, it would be like Daniel taking on these new providers but can only afford to pay 4 of us. And just think like just think of how insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because he can't. And then I bet all their money goes up too. Their prices go up.
Right. And that's, and when there is other, jobs available, you can get on Indeed, local newspaper, Craigslist, whatever, and find a job, a job, any job. Okay. But when you put 6 million people out of work, that puts possibly you going against 6 million more people for that job.
Mm-hmm.
Because you just put them, because they have to work too.
Well, think about how many people who went to college and stuff are even going to get a job because they're like when they say, well, yeah, I want to get paid 30 an hour, they're going to be looked at like they're crazy because everybody else is getting paid 15 or 16.
Right.
And they're going to pay the cheaper version.
I mean, you know, my ex-fiance graduated from Tarleton with an animal science degree. When she first started Tarleton, going for her animal science, her bachelor's in animal science, lots and lots and lots and lots of jobs that had something to do with animal science. By the time she graduated, that bachelor's degree in animal science was useless. She could not go teach school, high school or whatever.
Well, ag classes are almost
Non-existent anymore. So she applied for a job with the Purina dog food company. And the best they could offer her with a bachelor's degree in animal science was to stack bags of dog food on a pallet because that animal science degree was useless. In order for her to use that animal science degree, she had to go get her master's to teach or do something. And so it's become increasingly difficult to get all that. Now we're cutting a bunch of jobs. That's going to make it that much harder. And don't get me wrong, competition is a good thing. And if you're not the best fit for the job, you shouldn't be there. Somebody else should get it if you're not the best fit. But when your odds are 1 in 5 million, 6 million, that it's, and that's the thing. Then you're going to wind up having somebody working 2 or 3 of those $15 an hour jobs full time to pay that $1,400 a month 1-bedroom rent. That's what worries me.
A lot of people think big things are coming. I've seen all over the media where Trump's trying to make his own political party. We'll see if that happens.
Well, there's the things, Trump actually enacted martial law before he left office. They're just people are, and actually, and what was funny was CNN actually reported it. I just read it that Trump enacted martial law. CNN actually reported it, and I don't believe CNN for a damn. But why would they report that? There's just some stuff that's up. I'm not real sure.
That's weird.
But Trump pardoned 140 people. The Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. Listen to something. The motherfucker had a limo waiting on him. No, makeup, hair, and everything, waiting because everybody, attorneys, he's gonna get pardoned. He's gonna get pardoned, and we're gonna throw this big old party. He didn't get fucking pardoned. Lil Wayne walked out.
Fucking drug addict murderer.
So maybe there's something to the fact that Carol Baskin didn't do it. Because and people say some of the pardons and clemencies that Trump did on his last day in office were just out of spite. If he was doing pardons and clemencies out of spite, Joe Exotic would have gotten pardoned.
Yeah.
But Lil Weezy is free to go.
God have mercy.
God bless you, Lil Weezy. What else is it going on?
That is funny.
Did I used to be your favorite rapper? Who? Lil Wayne.
No, I know the
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You love the
And then his Lil Wayne's dad, the Birdman, or so what I've been told.
Megan, it went wonderful.
14, but yeah.
So somebody asked me, what was it? If Where'd it go?
My daughter's a nurse.
Are camps and taking kids real? No.
For a nurse?
What?
Basically like concentration camps and the government taking
Oh.
kids. No, it's not true.
We should do one. Y'all, this morning Nick said, Mom, what would you do if zombies took over the world? And Jaden said, oh, we would be the first to die. And I said, bitch, no, we wouldn't. We would be the last to die because the thing to do is stay in your home, protect yourself and your family, and don't go out and be a shithead. You know what I mean? Like, if you're running around breaking
Right.
into people's houses, you're going to get fucking killed or eaten by a zombie. But just stay the fuck in your house. I was like, we got guns, so we got to be able to stay in the house for as long as we can.
Right. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. You know, I mean, I don't know. I feel like over the.
We're not in a big city. If shit breaks loose, I mean,
I will tell you. I will tell you, I was scared yesterday, over the inauguration because I was given what happened at the Capitol
I was afraid.
week
something bad was gonna
before last, you know, and the different protests and stuff like that. I really was afraid there was going to be rioting and God only knows.
attempts.
Yeah.
I thought the opposite. I thought because of all the crazy amounts of military that were brought in, that pretty much Trump, and then we're gonna be like, no, surprise, bitches, we're taking over again.
I
That's
know.
what I thought was gonna happen. I thought they were gonna be like, no, surprise, we're really up for you, Biden.
And I mean, hell, they showed up at the Texas Capitol, protesters that were armed. I mean, now they weren't trying to storm the Texas Capitol or anything else, had peaceful protests, but them motherfuckers was armed to the hilt.
That's what I talked to Mike Stanley. I talked to Mike Stanley last night, and he had a show last night in downtown Austin. And he said, you know, for months and months and months, artists are always afraid of getting a phone call from bars and venues saying, oh, due to Rona, we're shut down. He said, I literally got an email from the club owner that said,
I know.
you're a go for tonight as long as we don't have a catastrophe in downtown.
Right.
Because the military has already arrived. So we're just waiting to see what happens.
I mean, and that's what like I said, that's what.
The military was in Austin?
Yeah, we have the Texas National Guard.
Yeah, the National Guard was there.
There were armed people there protesting. They weren't rioting or anything, but they were armed, and so you have to be sort of
To
fearful.
counteract.
Yeah, you have to be sort of fearful that something's going to happen. You got to make sure it
You have
doesn't.
to be aggressive. You
Yeah.
got to be.
So you got to stand there and say, "Hey, I'm armed too."
Yeah.
You know, you want to go through this, we can. You know, now like I said, nothing happened.
Yeah.
But with that many people that were armed, there was damn sure the potential.
It would have taken one idiot.
Yeah.
To set everything off.
Oh, one gun going off just had
Yeah.
everything.
One guy shooting his own toe off.
Yeah, Google it, Nikki. It was there. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know.
I have abstained from watching the news and
Yep.
everything.
That's
as
why
of,
people ask me like why they have.
I watch the weather and then change the channel.
Well, I mean,
I watch the weather. And
if I watch any kind of news now, I watch Newsmax.
Yeah.
I don't watch
I get my
Fox
news
News
off of-
anymore.
I get my news off of Facebook when like Fox or CBS or somebody goes live.
I mean, I can't. I cannot. I really can't believe Fox anymore either. I believe Newsmax. I mean, now Fox is scared of Newsmax. CNN's not scared of Newsmax, so CNN's bigger than Fox, but Fox is scared of Newsmax because Fox was supposed to be the conservative, always truthful news outlet.
That's what I thought.
And boy, election night things changed.
What happened? I guess I didn't see.
Well, on election night, hell, Fox was calling states before anybody was calling states. And as a matter of fact, Fox actually fucked up on 4 different states. And you know, I don't know. I mean, I still feel like, you know, even with Biden as president, we have enough We have enough people in Congress to stop any real major shit from going down. Plus, I really don't think there's a whole lot of major shit that's going to go down from the Democrats in these. Okay, no, there's a complete tie in the Senate. It's 50-50. But Kamala Harris, being the vice president, is president of the Senate, and she's the tiebreaker vote. So anything that comes down 50-50 straight down the middle, she gets to make that vote. And yes, well, I don't know. Somebody was supposed to introduce articles of impeachment today. I don't know if against Joe Biden. I don't know if they did or not. I think it's. Well, one of the freshman Republicans who's trying to make a name for herself in Congress has already said that on January 21, I will be introducing articles of impeachment against Joe Biden. Oh, she made lots of news over that.
It'll happen.
I think the articles will be introduced. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but because she said it's time to fight back.
Until they get more of guaranteed information out of the Russian thing and his son and everything.
Well,
like that, I don't know what it's saying.
that thing where the Russian government pretty much said like, "Yo, this is not good. Like they fucked up." Y'all don't remember watching it? It was a different language and you had to know the subtitles.
Yep.
What do you need more information? Like they said, "Yo, this is detrimental."
Right. I mean, but you know, I don't know. I would not be, going and running and hiding in my basement and living in fear 24/7.
No.
I mean, because I truly don't think I don't think they're really going to go off the rails. On that, hey, Brandon, we are doing wonderful for the most part. I'm leaving my job soon. Hey, Jack D. Frozen. Can you give me some encouragement? Here's what I would encourage you to do, Jack. Go start your own damn business and make all the money you want to. Hell, I'll support you. Let me know. I'll buy whatever the hell you're selling. You'll be fine. I mean, everybody's really going to be. Well, okay. So Brooklyn asked, I thought Trump was draining the swamp. Well, Trump did drain a lot of the swamp. There were several Senate and U.S. representative seats that flipped, both to Republican and Democrat. And there were a lot of those that needed to go. Number two, I think Trump and his administration exposed a lot of shit over 4 years. And, that was part of the whole draining the swamp
Someone
thing.
asked the question,
Mhm.
how can they impeach a private citizen? Now that
Because, well,
Wait, what's a private citizen?
Trump is now a private citizen.
He's not a member of the government.
Here's the thing. The impeachment won't go anywhere because no, it could go somewhere. I'm wrong with that. I just thought about that. The impeachment can go somewhere because the articles of impeachment were voted on and passed to be sent to the Senate before Trump left office.
Yep. It's not going to mean a lot.
Right. Now, if Pelosi,
it means he can't run.
if Pelosi today, if he gets convicted, if Pelosi today introduced articles of impeachment against Donald Trump, they could go nowhere with it because he is now private citizen, and you did not bring the impeachment articles before while he was. So
it said except he rescinded the executive order about,
rescinded.
Yeah, about becoming a lobbyist, but once he leaves office.
Right, and he rescinded an executive order. Big deal. I mean, some say that, well, the articles of impeachment aren't going to go anywhere. They're really not. What's my thoughts on them saying they want to deprogram us? Well, number one, nobody's programmed. But number two, what they're meaning by the deprogramming is to try and get rid of all of the hate and trying to bring everybody together because everything's so divided. I mean, family members aren't talking to each other because somebody voted Democrat and somebody voted Republican.
Yeah.
That shit right there needs to be deprogrammed.
Wait, about what?
family members are not speaking anymore to each other because somebody voted Democrat and somebody voted Republican. I mean, it's literally,
Both Thanksgiving and Christmas, there was a huge fight.
it's literally divided families, and so that part needs to be deprogrammed.
That is true. They also said that Biden already took the military flags out of the chamber.
And people are saying, how do you feel about Biden trying to rejoin the Paris Climate Accord? Well, it's going to be expensive, so I don't disagree with the climate accord. I disagree with the price of the climate accord. What's my thought on them wanting to make a registry for gun owners? Every gun owner should register the weapon they have.
Actually, more.
Every gun owner should have to register the weapon. Absolutely.
You have to take classes and get a license to buy ammo and guns.
That's the way it was.
Like a driver's license.
I don't think. I mean, you should have to have a permit to own a pistol, to own an AR-15, okay? And you should have to register that weapon. If you go buy a 9mm, that 9mm needs to truly be registered to you.
Yeah.
And if you're
something happens,
right, and an illegal
stolen, you report it.
an illegal gun that you purchased and somebody finds out about it, then you should be in trouble because you bought the motherfucker off the street and didn't do the paperwork you should have done.
So what about if you have a gun that was just handed down to you?
You need to register it still, even though it's handed.
You call
You call the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and register it. This gun was handed down to me. Yes.
This gun, they will want the serial number. They'll want that information. You send it off, they register it.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not a big deal.
I
I believe that you need to have a CHL.
if you're building your own gun, then you need to register it.
Did you know that if you shoot someone in self-defense and you have a CHL, that it's harder to get you off for self-defense because you did a class that taught you how to safely?
Well, you're not gonna.
It's harder.
Because you've been taught
Yes, to
how to
de-escalate.
properly use a gun and
Yes.
de-escalate. Shoot them in the shin before you shoot them in the face.
Right, they're pretty much saying hurt them before you murder them.
Yeah.
Right.
So if someone's coming at you, trying to hurt you, you're not going to just shoot them in the head.
It's a whole lot easier.
I'm not gonna-
in this area.
Right. I'm not going to stand there and try to aim for the fucking eyeball as they're
I'm
coming
not
at me with a
gonna
knife.
Whenever I could not miss this, I'm not going to.
Right. I mean, I'm going to.
You're going down.
I'm going to. The thing with shooting is, yes, people are taught shoot to kill, not to wound. But if you're in that situation,
You go for the biggest target.
you go for the biggest target, the thing that you can most likely hit.
Right, but I'm just saying, let's say you're this close to me and I have the gun, I'm going to point down at your stomach, I'm just going to point it.
Well, no, you're not going to sit there and point and wait. Nope, don't move. Hang on. No, you're not going to do that. You're literally just going to pull up and shoot.
That's what I'm saying. You're just going to shoot. So already,
The chances of-
I gotta shoot this guy.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if I'm not thinking and I'm just shooting, the chances of me hitting his head
Are very
less
slim.
than me hitting anywhere in this
Right.
vicinity.
Why don't you just take
That
a
is
shot?
way bigger.
And here's the thing: if you knock them down, you got the chance to get away.
Yeah.
Irregardless.
They have the chance to get away too.
That's fine. They got a bullet hole in them.
You think they
They ain't
really
gonna get away and get as far as you are because they're wounded. And then they have a chance to actually
Well,
stand
it rained
trial.
all day. Hasn't rained but twice.
Yeah.
And now it's like blowing up.
What about pardoning Steve Bannon? I was kind of on that one. What was it, Carrie? What was your post, Carrie? What's a good insurance for thyroid cancer? There is no insurance for thyroid cancer. It's a cancer, period. And so you have to find a medical insurance that covers cancer, and they all do.
Even if it's pre-existing?
Pre-existing condition don't exist anymore.
Okay, that's why I was wondering. I remember one time.
Yeah,
But people consider it exclusions, right? Like people can say, we'll pay for everything except for that.
Yes.
And Jack, I agree. Army veteran, one shot, one kill. I wholeheartedly
That's, I mean,
agree with that. But for the people that are not,
Vision insurance is the same.
you know, truly trained by the military and stuff like that, you know, they're taught a little concealed handgun license class.
No more Amazon.
They're going
Like a lot of
to,
them don't cover weight loss surgery.
more than likely, they're not going to be able to hit somebody in the head just, you know,
And they'll
rapid
pay
fire.
there even if it's medical surgery, they won't cover weight loss surgery.
You gotta get the insurance that makes sure it covers it. Or that if it's medically necessary. it covers it.
Do I think states will attempt to secede from the union? No.
They always say that. Every single election year,
Yes.
somebody says they're gonna secede from the union. They're not gonna secede from the
And
union.
when was the last time that
All your social fucking security that you
Are
paid
premiums going to
for
skyrocket?
is gone.
I'm afraid premiums are going to skyrocket. I'm really afraid that insurance carriers are going to skyrocket their premiums. I really do. Well, Cassie, what state and what county do you live in? And I can tell you a good insurance carrier to look into. Or you can call 254-918-5444. Talk to Cannonball Solutions. What?
Someone said no more Amazon, and I said, what do you mean?
They say that there's a lot of people boycotting it.
Why though?
Boycotting what?
Amazon. There's a lot of things that I could live without. Amazon is probably not one of them.
You can't live without
I
Amazon?
really love my
Well,
love
I mean,
Amazon.
Okay, so the couch that I just bought for my office, $139. You think I'm gonna find a $139 couch anywhere else? No.
At the Walmart's.
That's gonna last? No. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, they shut down Parlor off their server. Yes, they did, but Parlor's got some kind of agreement worked out. Yeah. So we're also doing some like construction in the office because I'm moving in this office into a bigger office in here. Kat's gonna take my office.
I really want to knock the wall down in mine.
Now that we did the one, and it took like, what, 3 hours?
That's it?
Well, with all the business that's coming in though, we're probably going to need more of those offices.
Bigger offices.
So
I'm not moving to Cal.
there's more to happen with Trump.
It's too dark.
There is. So I'm gonna take y'all on a tour.
Y'all would want to do. Oh my
God!
Who the hell is it? Give me the phone. Just give me that damn thing.
Is it the same person?
I'll come over here and talk to y'all. Hello. What are y'all doing? They can't do that. They can't deny you for having a pre-existing condition or reinsure you.
I'm gonna have any part in that.
Hey, babe. Thank you, Kristen. And I was out of the Rona. Sorry. Does she have the Rona? Or did her kid? Who has the Rona? Well, I don't know if he has it. I don't think she went and got him tested. I told her, I said, go, after 72 hours, go get him tested. If he doesn't have it, you can come back to work. Thank you. Hey, Lauren. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, the hair's getting a little wild. But thank you. Thank you guys so much.
Oh my Jesus.
Mine's do not disturb. Which one? This lady sounds like a. I know it's we sent it to Sedler. That's the one I gave you. Hey. So hungry. All I can think about is food right now. So hungry. He'll be right back, y'all. I did. I rearranged my office. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with my rug. I mean, like in there, like, but every time I come out here, I'll have to. Did he just say tell them to pay it? Is he stomping? Thank you, Alicia. Everyone said my hair's cute. I don't know what's for lunch, but I'm starving. It's almost afternoon. 15 more minutes.
That was what 4 of those damn calls were, was her. Oh my God. Jesus. Here we go. Sorry about that. So did y'all take them on a tour?
No, can't take him.
Okay. All right. So somebody come get the computer so we can, because this video go to the YouTube.
Okay.
So what we're doing. Oh. So see, this is my office now.
The disaster that it is.
Disaster area, right? This is my office. What we're doing now is we're going over here, and now I'm gonna be in this line.
This one. That one. They can see up my nose.
then
Now he's like right next to me, so I'll get shit thrown at me all the time now. Yeah. See.
So that's office here.
She's
We'll go
moving
into
over
my
here.
office. It's
And
gonna be
Mrs.
fun.
Katz. And there's Jessica.
Let's see, Jamie. Yeah. I love when I have to find denials for patients that we were called in to see at the hospital, and then they deny it because we're not in network. They're not going to pay us. They don't get a choice on that, Jamie. If your physician was called in to consult, doesn't matter if you're in network. That gets paid. That's crap. Oh, I'm kind of hungry too.
Thank God I'm starving. I was literally just saying I'm so hungry. What do you want?
I don't know. I don't know. What do you think would drive the insurance companies to drive up their prices? Well, what's going to drive them to drive up their prices is I have a feeling that President Biden's going to try and put in the individual mandate again. Because we basically cowered down to the Obama administration cowered down to the insurance carriers. Now, the healthcare.gov was a great thing, but the individual mandate was not, and I agree with Donald Trump getting rid of the individual mandate. You know, that you don't have to have insurance. You know, I have to. What I'm really anxious to see in looking at some of the, because I get thousands of emails of different healthcare reimbursement and like advocacy news. What I'm really interested to see is an email that I got the other day about mental health coverage.
What was it?
Well, they're going to try to make it harder for mental health professionals to get paid by the insurance carrier.
Why?
Because what they're going to try and do is, if a family practice physician is dealing with, somebody that is bipolar, they're going to try and take that and go, well, you are not authorized to take care of this patient. So you are supposed to, the psychiatrist is the one that's supposed to be seeing this patient, or whatever. Well, here's the thing though. I found the loophole straight up in the email. There's going to be a big loophole that I'm going to exploit. And here's the thing: if they do what they say they're going to do, they're going to try to do it. It'll have to be done for a year before the law gets changed. Well, there's a massive loophole in it that I'm going to exploit, and my providers are going to get paid for mental health cases. There's going to be a lot of them that won't. Mine will.
Just like the other day when I went to see Hayden's psychiatrist or whatever, she's like, well, do you want me to start sending invoice prescriptions instead of his doctor? And I said, no. She goes, it's fine.
Right, because that's where a lot of it needs to be anyway, is the psychiatrist needs to consult with the primary care provider is what needs to happen. And a lot of times that doesn't happen. The primary care provider does yes, this vodka is good. We advocate nationally. The primary care provider makes the referral to the psychiatrist, and then that's it. If those two would consult and work together, there would be so many more treated and treatable mental health patients. But you have egos that come into play. One psychiatrist that my wife did I was a medic. My wife did a referral for my niece to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist said, "Oh, well, she should be off all these meds." Okay, she was prescribed those meds before my wife became her primary care, and they work for her and they keep her leveled out. And now, if the psychiatrist would have called my wife and they talked about it, and the psychiatrist can justify saying, I think we could take her off this particular medication. Let's try and wean her off and see what we can do. My wife would have been totally agreeable to that, but that's not what happens. And then mental health patients, the PCP goes, well, the psychiatrist is the one that's supposed to do it. And then the psychiatrist goes, well, fuck, it was the PCP that did this. No, work together.
And then you have the doctor's office and the pharmacy.
No.
They don't work together either. I had to teach a lady the other day because her son's doctor wouldn't get a yearly pre-op for his Latuda because they have to have pre-op for it because it's a tier 3 drug.
Yep.
Anyway, and I said, why don't you get a yearly? She's like, well, my doctor refuses and he wants to get it every month. I said, no, you demand a yearly. If not, you go in there and you get it yourself.
Right. I mean, and yes, Jay, that's probably how they would justify the denial, is using a mental health diagnosis code on a family practice provider visit. And they're like, well, you're not qualified for mental health. Here's the thing: family practice covers all areas of medicine. endocrinology, psych, ortho, neuro, cardiac. I mean, they cover everything, you know, and especially when you have the HMOs that demand that you do a referral to the specialist before they'll pay for the specialist. Well, if I put a mental health diagnosis in on a claim, but I'm not a mental health professional, you're not going to pay my claim. So how am I supposed to do the referral? Because then you're not going to accept the referral either.
Right.
I know the
Or,
loophole.
and then there's like, you know, if they come back and say, oh, well, you have
No to universal health care.
to the, you know, the mental health prescription, you're going to have to get it from the psychiatrist. Well, you can also show them the diagnosis from the psychiatrist and then get it paid that way too.
Yes. Casey Robbins 15, United Healthcare.
What the? A $5.5 million winning lottery ticket was sold in Comanche, Texas, and a $775,000 winning lottery ticket was sold in Breckenridge.
Damn.
Yep.
Well, it's about time that Powerball was getting on up there now. But I mean, that's what we have to deal with mental health and coding for family practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is and especially your managed plans like your Molinas and stuff like that, which Molina's a horrendous issue anyway. Molina's trying to push to where a family practice physician can't do anything but if you have the sniffles or you have the flu. And, Molina's got to stop doing that crap.
Where were you at like 20 minutes ago? Yeah, that's basically, and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Ohio is requiring, just so y'all know, if you have an ambulance ride, they're requiring every plan to send in the trip reports. Every single one. Molina's trying to do the same thing with non-emergent.
Yeah, Molina is trying to find a loophole to get out of paying claims, and especially in Ohio. And what it is because Ohio hasn't dropped the subsidy down to Molina yet that they're supposed to get. So Molina's trying to screw the patients and the providers.
Right.
Which,
but little do they know, I'll send them a
well, I got that fixed. Yesterday about the subsidy issue because I found, I went and looked and found in the Ohio Revised Code about what the managed plan has to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Aetna Better Health and United Healthcare Community Plan and Molina, and Buckeye, they don't get to hold it. Good afternoon, Ryan H. Why when we get health insurance, we have to have it till the next open enrollment? Okay. You don't have to have it. You can drop your health insurance at any time. But you can't change insurances until open enrollment unless you have a life-altering event. You changed jobs. You lost your job. You had a baby. Something like that. Those are qualifying events that will allow you to change insurance or enroll when it's not open enrollment.
Okay.
What?
Can we explain how sending bills over to collections is not a HIPAA violation?
It is not a HIPAA violation because the provider and the billing agency have a business associates agreement. The provider also is having the billing agency act as their registered agent to send claims over to collections. It is not a HIPAA violation. Then the collections agency and the provider also have a business associates agreement. Also, on every time you go to the ER, you take an ambulance ride, you go to the doctor's office, you either have a lifetime signature or an every time signature, you authorize the provider to bill your insurance carrier, to bill you if necessary, and to send it to collections. It is not a HIPAA violation.
It's in the fine print, guys. Read it.
You sign it.
Sign it every time.
But here's the thing. If you refuse to sign it, they can also say, well, we're not treating you.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
There you go. So, right. Do I know someone to contact at Caremark so I can get this prior auth? Yes, Aaron, I do actually. If you'll email me the information or what's going on with Caremark, I can tell you exactly who to call and what to do. Who? What about Unified? No, they're a joke. They're nothing. They're nothing more than damn near a discount plan is what they are. Good morning, Karen. We do medical billing and coding and patient advocacy. Yeah, we gotta go get lunch done and all of that good sort of stuff. So, hugs not drugs. Bros before hoes.
No, there's this guy over there that.
I'm gonna be an uncle again. Yay, that's cool, Ryan. Well, we're gonna disconnect till next week. Y'all know our office number 254-918-5477. If y'all need us, but we'll be back here next Thursday at 11. And we're gonna fire up our podcasts back up again. How hard is the school to do y'all's job? It's not hard. It's just time consuming. So be safe. Be well. Bye bye.